Britney Spears' father, Jamie Spears, has filed a petition to terminate the conservatorship that Britney has been trapped in for 13 long years. But the real question here is, did Jamie file this petition because it's in Britney's best interest? Or has Jamie abused his power for the past 13 years in this conservatorship and is trying to avoid prison? I think it's the second one. It's a juicy mess, so let's just dive right into it. So all of this went down on September 7th when Jamie Spears went to NBC and provided NBC with a new court document that had not yet been filed. And that court document was a petition to terminate Britney's conservatorship. Most of the time, Jamie leaks information like this to TMZ. So it was really interesting to see him pick a different news source to give this story to. And honestly, I think TMZ is a little bitter about this because this was a huge story. And I have my notifications on for TMZ, and they're normally always posting and reposting articles with like clickbaity titles, and all I really saw from them with this story was just one little article that wasn't even really clickbaity. So I think it's safe to say that they are a little bitter. But let me fill you in on all of the tea that happened this week. For the past 2 years, Britney has desperately tried to remove her abusive father, Jamie Spears, as her conservator. And Britney has refused to work while her dad is in control of her life. And then in court on June 23rd, Britney told the judge that her dad got off on her suffering.
I cried on the phone for an hour and he loved every minute of it. The control he had over someone as powerful as me, as he loved the control to hurt his own daughter 100,000%. He loved it.
Britney also told Judge Brenda Penny that she wouldn't be able to see her children if she didn't comply with the demands of her father and her management. Which, by the way, anybody who works with Britney or for Britney is hired by Jamie. And just last month, Britney's new lawyer, Matthew Rosengart, filed a petition to remove Britney's father, Jamie Spears, as her conservator and replace him with a professional accountant. Matthew Rosengart argued that Jamie wasn't acting in Britney's best interest, and he even indicated that Jamie may have misused Britney's finances. After hearing Matthew Rosengart's petition to remove Jamie as conservator, Jamie said that he would be willing to step down when the time is right. But the transition needs to be orderly and include a resolution of matters. And after Jamie said that he would be willing to step down, Jamie was still fighting Matthew Rosengart because he said that there wasn't an urgent need for his removal. Jamie urged the court not to make a decision based on these false allegations. I don't know, Jamie, you sound pretty defensive to me, and that makes me feel like they're not false allegations, but what do I know? That's just my opinion. But Jamie Spears denies all abuse allegations against him in court filings and in public comments. In court documents that were filed last month, Matthew Rosengart demanded that Jamie Spears needs to resign immediately. Matthew Rosengart accused Jamie Spears in the court document of attempting to extort his daughter's estate before stepping down. And Matthew Rosengart said this: "Mr. Spears and his counsel are now on notice. The status quo is no longer tolerable, and Britney Spears will not be extorted." And then he said, "Mr. Spears' blatant attempt to barter suspension and removal in exchange for approximately $2 million in payments, on top of the millions already reaped from Ms. Spears' estate by Mr. Spears and his associates, is a non-starter." This is painfully obvious that Jamie's only in it for the money. But that brings us to the court filings. Let's break this thing down and see what's in this thing. Shall we? We shall. Disclaimer, I am not a lawyer, so I'm just doing the best that I can right now, so. Also, big shout out to Britney Law Army on Twitter. I'm going to link their information down below, but I got all of my information from this Twitter account, so I will leave all of their information down below and go follow them because they are awesome. The court document says, "James P. Spears, Mr. Spears, as conservator of the estate of Britney Jean Spears, respectfully presents his petition for termination of conservatorship of the person and estate of Britney Jean Spears, the petition, and alleges as the follows. 1. For 13 years, Britney Jean Spears, Miss Spears, has been under a conservatorship of both the person and the estate. Miss Spears entered into the conservatorship voluntarily in 2008. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and debunk this claim that she went in there voluntarily because she did, but she didn't. Britney did go into the conservatorship voluntarily, but when her father was drafting up papers to get her into a conservatorship, she was currently in a mental health facility. And legally, whenever you're filing papers to put someone into a conservatorship, the conservatee needs to be notified at least 5 days prior so they can find legal representation before losing all of their rights. Britney did not get that opportunity because she was being held in a psychiatric facility for a mental evaluation. And if she went to court on behalf of this conservatorship, she would be released from the hospital early, and that was concerning to Jamie. And also, the conservatorship was supposed to be temporary, but it ended up being permanent. But let's keep on reading. To this day, her attorneys have never filed a petition to terminate the conservatorship, because Samuel Ingham, her court-appointed lawyer, was literally making millions off of her for literally doing nothing. Britney told us on the June 23rd court hearing that she had no idea that she could even petition to terminate it, because nobody told her, because they don't want her to know.
I was told I have to sit down and be evaluated again if I want to end the conservatorship. Ma'am, I didn't know I could petition the conservatorship to end it. I'm sorry for my ignorance, but I honestly didn't know that.
But let's keep on reading. The conservatorship has helped Miss Spears get through a major life crisis, rehabilitate and advance her career, and put her finances and her affairs in order. What planet are these people living on? We must debunk this. So this conservatorship has helped Britney get through a major life crisis. According to Britney, this conservatorship has been nothing but a crisis to Britney.
So basically, this conservatorship is doing me way more harm than good. I deserve to have a life.
And then they argue that the conservatorship has rehabilitated and advanced her career. Britney has not performed in years. Let's not forget about the zone and the controversies behind that. And lastly, they claim that they put her finances and affairs in order. Britney has a low net worth compared to other people in her industry, so nice try. Moving on. But recently, things have changed. Miss Spears is now outspoken in her frustration with the level of control imposed by a conservatorship, and has pleaded with this court to let her have her life back. In recent months, she has attended 2 court proceedings and has certainly made her wishes known about the conservatorship, and has asked this court directly to end the conservatorship. 2. Miss Spears told this court that she wants control of her life back without the safety rails of a conservatorship. She wants to be able to make decisions regarding her own medical care, deciding when, where, and how often to get therapy. She wants to control the money that she has made from her career and spend it without supervision or oversight. She wants to be able to get married and have a baby if she so chooses. In short, she wants to live her life as she chooses without the constraints of a conservator or court proceedings. 3. As Mr. Spears has said again and again, all he wants is what is best for his daughter. If Miss Spears wants to terminate the conservatorship and believes that she can handle her own life, Mr. Spears believes that she should get that chance. Miss Spears recently testified that she did not know, at least in the past, that she could petition to end the conservatorship without submitting to a full psychological evaluation. Given Ms. Spears' testimony, Mr. Spears does not know why a petition to terminate the conservatorship has not yet been filed. I wonder if it's because everyone who's involved in this conservatorship is profiting off of Britney and doesn't want it to be terminated. Just a thought though. Let's keep reading. Mr. Spears, however, has heard his daughter, and she is now pleading for the court to end the conservatorship. Mr. Spears believes that Miss Spears is entitled to have this court now seriously consider whether this conservatorship is no longer required. Miss Spears has pleaded with this court to end her conservatorship. On June 23, 2021, Miss Spears made an impassioned plea to this court to end her conservatorship. She explained that she had been told that she could not end her conservatorship without going through another psychological evaluation, something she simply could not face, and that she did not know that she could file a petition to end it. She then told the court, "I just want my life back. It's been 13 years and it's enough. It's been a long time since I've owned my money, and it's my wish and my dream for all of this to end without being tested. The main reason why I'm here is because I want to end this conservatorship without having to be evaluated." She said it over and over. 5. Miss Spears told the court that she wanted to live a normal life. Britney said, "I'd like for my boyfriend to be able to drive me in his car, And I want to meet with the therapist once a week, not twice a week. And I want him to come to my house because I actually know I do need a little therapy. And I would like to progressively move forward. And I want to have the real deal. I want to be able to get married and have a baby. I was told right now in the conservatorship I'm not able to get married or have a baby. So basically, this conservatorship is doing me way more harm than good. I deserve to have a life. I deserve to have the same rights as anybody does having a child, a family, any of those things, and more so. 6. On July 14th, 2021, Ms. Spears again addressed this court and again made a plea to end her conservatorship. I also again want to petition the court to end the conservatorship, but only if I don't have to be evaluated. This court has an authority to end this conservatorship without ordering a psychological evaluation. 7. Probate Code Section 1861 provides a petition for termination of a conservatorship may be filed by the conservator among others. 8. Probate Code 1863 Subdivision B provides if the court determines that the conservatorship is no longer required or that the grounds for establishment of a conservatorship of the person or estate or both no longer exist, the court shall make this finding and shall enter judgment terminating the conservatorship accordingly. 9. The probate code does not require that any mental or psychological evaluation of the conservatee be performed before a conservatorship is terminated. Accordingly, this court has adequate authority under the probate code to terminate this conservatorship if it finds that this conservatorship is no longer required or that the grounds of establishment of this conservatorship of the person and the estate no longer exist. The court should evaluate whether this conservatorship is still required given recent events and changed circumstances. Recent events related to this conservatorship have called into question whether circumstances have changed to such an extent that grounds for establishment of a conservatorship may no longer exist or that this conservatorship may no longer be required. I wonder if it's because Matthew Rosengart isn't playing these games with you guys. He and Britney are here for blood, and blood is what they're gonna get. I also wonder if this is motivated by Jamie Lynn. If you know anything about this family dynamic, you know that Jamie Lynn is a huge daddy's girl. And I think that all of the backlash that Jamie Lynn has gotten recently has taken a huge toll on her. She's losing everything. She's lost fans, and there's a petition going around to kick her off of her little show, Sweet Magnolias. She started crying on her Instagram story.
Hey, Mom. It has to be okay, Mom.
Oh, thank you, baby.
And I mean, she's getting so much backlash that she even turned off the comments on her Instagram. So I wonder if maybe she's talking to Jamie Spears and is like, Dad, please, they're being so mean to me. I just can't take the pressure. And I wonder if that could be a factor as to why Jamie wants to end this. I don't think that's the main reason, but I think that that's definitely a factor. So let's keep reading. First, as noted above, Miss Spears has made it very clear to this court that she wants the conservatorship to be terminated. Miss Spears has also made it clear that she does not want to have to go through another psychological evaluation, but as discussed above, the probate code does not require a psychological evaluation as a precondition to termination. 12. Second, after listening to Miss Spears' recent testimony, the court authorized Miss Spears to select and retain counsel of her choosing, rather than appointing counsel for her. In doing so, this court has recognized that Miss Spears has both the capacity and capability to identify, engage, and instruct counsel of her own choice, on her own, without the assistance of the conservator of the court. If Miss Spears has the capacity and the capability to engage counsel on her own, she presumably has capacity and capability to handle other contractual and business matters. In addition to being able to choose and instruct her own attorney, Miss Spears should be given the opportunity to hire her own business manager, financial advisor, and security to protect both her estate and her person. 13. Third, Miss Spears has recently demonstrated a level of independence that calls into question whether a conservator of the person is required. It appears from public media reports that Miss Spears has been driving in the community on her own. Accordingly, either the current temporary conservator of the person, Jody Montgomery, has given Miss Spears permission to drive on her own, or Miss Spears has taken that right on her own. This kind of sounds like a power thing for Jamie. It almost feels like he's like, why is Britney driving? I never gave her permission to drive. And then he's like, I'm gonna make her look bad and sound like she's breaking the rules. I think this was added into the petition because Jamie knows that he's busted because Britney never had dementia and she's finally allowed to drive, and everyone knows that if you have dementia, it's like not reversible. You always have dementia. Anyone who actually has dementia can't drive. So Jamie, you're busted. Sorry. It was also made clear in her statement to the court on June 23rd, 2021 that Ms. Spears wants to control how frequently she obtains therapy and where that therapy is given. Accordingly, Ms. Spears should be given the opportunity to hire her own doctors and manage her own medical care, including her therapy. Given Ms. Spears' impassioned pleas to this court and the clearly changed circumstances referred to above, it is in Ms. Spears' best interest that the court consider whether this conservatorship is still required or whether the grounds for establishment of this conservatorship of the person and estate no longer exist. Now let's read Jamie's request. Number 1, finding that all notices required by law have been properly given. Number 2, determining that the conservatorship of the person of Britney Jean Spears is no longer required or that grounds for establishment of a conservatorship of the person no longer exist. Number 3, terminating the conservatorship of the person of Britney Jean Spears. 4, discharging Jody Montgomery as temporary conservator of the person upon settlement and approval of a final report or account by the court. 5, determining that the conservatorship of the estate of Britney Jean Spears is no longer required or that grounds for establishment of a conservatorship of the estate no longer exist. 6, terminating the conservatorship of the estate of Britney Jean Spears. 7, discharging James P. Spears as conservator of the estate upon settlement and approval of a final report or account by the court. Let's talk about request number 7 because that sure does sound a little wild. What I think this means is that Jamie and all of his lawyers still want to have approval for everything that happens until this conservatorship is terminated so they can remain in control. And I also think this means that they want Britney to pay for all of the legal fees. 8, for such other and further relief as the court deems just and proper. So that is the court filing that Jamie Spears filed to terminate Britney's conservatorship. Once Britney's attorney heard about this petition to terminate the conservatorship, he had this to say. It appears that Mr. Spears believes he can try to avoid accountability and justice, including sitting on a sworn deposition and answering other discovery under oath. But as we assess his filings, which was inappropriately sent to the media before it was served on a counsel, our investigations will continue. And that brings us to a new document. I believe that this document is Jamie's motivation to terminate Britney's conservatorship. It says, James P. Spears shall furnish bond as sole conservator of the estate in the amount of $47,285,400, surety or as otherwise provided by law. Upon the filing of the bond ordered above, amended letters of the conservatorship of the estate shall issue to James P. Spears with the powers as set forth above, dated on March 5th, 2019, and signed by Brenda Penny, the judge of the Superior Court. So Jamie has a bond of $47 million. If he is found of wrongdoing, which I'm sure he will be responsible for paying that money back. However, if the conservatorship ends and is terminated, then Jamie will not be responsible to pay back that money. So this just shows us that Jamie and all of his greedy friends are scared. They know that they have done a lot of shady things that are wrong, and their karma is going to catch up with them because we're going to hold them accountable and we're not going to let them get away with this. But that is all I have for today's video. Be sure you're subscribed because there's going to be a court hearing for Britney's case on September 29th, and I'm going to keep you guys updated on that and let you guys know everything that happens in that court hearing. And they're not going to terminate the conservatorship, I don't think. That hearing will be in January 2022. But that is all I have for you guys today. I love you guys so much. Stay safe and stay blessed. Bye.